Hello, this is Joseph Guagenti from KB1Pro, and today we're going to cover the KB1 batch report. You can find that under Inventory and KB1 batch report. Now the batch report will allow you to look at batched items that are from a production order, or look at the raw goods, and we define raw goods as items that would go into production orders or a boom inside of a boom. So we can look at it from the top down or from the bottom up, meaning from the top down, from the production order, the finished good, all the way down the chain, or we can look at it from the raw materials up the chain to find out all the production orders that it was used in and the deliveries. So with that, let's go ahead and find ourselves a production order, one that's closed out. Okay, here's one, and we'll copy that item and we'll paste that into here. Now, one of the things that we can do is we can get a list of the batches for an item, and we can see that here. Now from here we can expand this row to see that it was on a inventory transfer, document type 67. We can see that it was on deliveries. There was goods issued and goods receipt. So let's just grab this batch here so we can start looking at the data for this finished item with this batch number. So let's go to production orders. So here we can see that we have a production order 508, that's the doc entry for it, and these are the issues for production and receipts for production, both the doc entry and the doc note. So we can take a look at that, and then we can take a look at the relationship map, and we can see that for this production order we have one goods issued for production and three receipt for productions, which matches our data here, as we have issue 60, 55, 0, three of them, are three of them that are all the same, but then we have a receipt from production, and we have three different ones on that. So we can look into the batches that were used. So we have an 80006 for this PBAG 50-3. And those all went into these finished goods with that finished good item. So it gives us from a production standpoint, all of the finished goods with this batch. These were all of our production orders. Now we might want to take a look a step further and take a look at the deliveries for this finished good with this batch, and we can see that we sent it out to 4 different customers. And those 4 different customers, here we have our delivery document, our sales order that it was generated on. If we have additional information like telephone numbers or cell phone or fax or email, we would see that here. This would be great for doing a recall for a finished good item. With this batch number, we can easily call these customers and ask them to return the product because of a defect or an issue that we're having with it. Now we go to base items in the production. These are the raw items, raw goods that went into this production for this finished good. So here we can see we have 3 items that went into producing this finished good item, and here's our 80006. And if we want to take a look at that, we can see that this particular raw good with this batch number was also used in producing these finished good items. So we can actually expand those as well, see what batch numbers they were given during the production, and we can drill into those as well. And again, you can get a map that shows us, from standard SAP, the production order and the issue for production. If we take a look at the batches in here, we will see here's our 80006 item that was used in there. So it gives us from the finished good, we can get all of the raw goods and the batch numbers, and additionally we can get the finished good items, additional finished good items that also use this combination of item and batch. As you can see here. So now we can go to what we call the level 2 production orders. Now the level 2 production orders are going to be these finished goods which used this combination of raw material from the with this batch number on it. So let's take a look at our level 2 production orders. Now this is going to give us all of those finished good items that use any raw goods that were used in this finished good item with this batch. So once again, we can see the raw goods that went into this finished good, and we can see the production orders, the receipt for production, and our issues for production. And again, we can drill into these individual production orders or receipts or issues for that item. Additionally, if we want to recall some of these finished goods, we can go ahead and look into where they were delivered at. So we can pull that up, and then we can see these are the same finished goods that we just saw on the previous screen when we were looking at the production orders. And then we can expand upon those, see each one of the batches that were created, and then drill in even further and be able to see the delivery documents that used this finished good that had a raw goods like in the item that we are searching on. So we can see that. And again, if there was additional information such as contact information, we would be able to see who that contact information is, phone number and everything, and can do a recall right from here for a item that has some issues with it. So that kind of gives us the top-down view from a finished good item and all of its children that made up the finished good item, the raw materials. Now what we might want to take a look at is, let's take a look at one of the raw goods. So let's take, of course, if we tried to take a look at a purchase item for this goods, we would see that there is none, and the item wasn't used in any production, this individual item, and it wouldn't be on any of the deliveries. So now let's go grab one of the raw goods that we have here. Let's take this one here. We'll copy that and we'll paste it in there. So let's go ahead and pull up this batch. Let's look up a different batch number, one that has maybe a little bit more information on it, besides just maybe a goods receipt and a goods receipt for production and goods issued for production. And we just have goods receipt, goods issued, goods receipt, goods issued. Here's an item that has goods, lots of goods issued, and some goods receipt, and a goods receipt PO. So this is an item that we had purchased from a vendor. So let's get that batch, copy, paste. So now let's go to purchased items. So here we can see we purchased this item from this vendor, and it was on this goods receipt PO that we had purchased. Sorry, I was looking more to get the batches, not the relationship match. So here we go, 1331.9. So you can see we had purchased this 1331.9. Let's close that out, and that. Now we may want to take a look at where this 1331.9 batch was used. So here is all of our production orders. Once again, you can drill into the production orders. You can drill into the receipt for production, from production, and issue from production, for production. So we can then additionally look at all of the delivery tickets in which this raw good was used. So we can take a look at that. Now it's going to return back all of the finished good items for this raw material, because we wouldn't necessarily be selling the raw material. If it was being sold, it would show up in this map, but this raw material is made to make all of these finished goods, and these finished goods then can be expanded. We can see the batch numbers that were associated with that. Let's pick a different one since that's one we looked up. There we go. And then so this raw material was used in this finished good with this batch number, and these are the customers who purchased it. So again, we can do a recall from there. We can drill into the delivery documents. We can get the contact information for that customer. So that pretty much covers the KB1 batch report. So if you have any additional questions, please feel free to ask. And bis später.